Today I'm going to go through a tier list of some of the enemies I've encountered in Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. This is on the Preville Plus playthrough, so there are typically more enemies that have been added in this modded version. And without further ado, we'll get started and we will kick it off with Tier S. So in Tier S we've got Needles, first person you encounter that's reasonably powerful. He can basically be killed quite quickly with blinding, but he will give you disease, he will give you bleeding. So for that reason, he's S tier because he is a very difficult character to begin with. He is a run ender. If you die to him, he chains you up and you will lose all your progress. So not very good to come across. The Dark Priest after him, he can strangle you on a coin flip, put you on an obelisk. Not very good to encounter. He's also S tier. These are early run decimators, for a better word. They can easily just halt your progress in one coin flip. Olivia's an S tier because she's the character I've done my first playthrough with. Seems reasonably strong. After this, we've got this Death Mask guy. This guy, he's very dangerous. He comes out of the coffin, I'd say, when you're about on day 2. I've not seen him on day 1, but for the most part, I believe he stalks you relentlessly if you run away from him. I've only ever killed him by shooting him through bars in the Church of Olmar. So if you do encounter this guy, running away from him is smart until you can get powerful enough and get the meat grinder and some decent weapons. We've got the platoon here. N tier enemy. Can kill you in a coin flip, just shooting you with the barrel on his face with mortar strike. Generally bad in both forms, Masso form even worse. Yeah, not much more to say about him. The Tower of Coats or Tower of Shirts, the obelisk, found in the, I'm going to say, fashion shop next to the bar, the Probot bar. Yeah, this guy here, he's reasonably tough, 20,000 HP. He dies quite well to bladed weapons, but for the most part, he's an end game entity. You do need to kill him to get the museum key, so there's no turning back once you take him on. His Moonscorch does 50 damage, just be very wary. You are going to need Osa, some reflection, and decent powered up characters to take him on. Stitches, very powerful, appears with the human flesh lump. This sort of misformed flesh lump will summon Stitches and end your run very quickly, so I advise shooting Stitches through the centipede-like figure that's in the middle of the room. Just dance her around that, kite her, shoot her, just get rid of her that way. This boss here, I have encountered him once. I've done 2 different playthroughs of this boss by reloading my save, and found that if you attack his torso, he doesn't drop a spear. If you cut one of his arms off, he will drop a spear, which is really powerful when equipped. It's got a ridiculous amount of attack, so he's S tier for the fact he actually drops this weapon. His actual dangerousness is probably close to A tier. That's if dangerousness is a word. His element of threat, his threat level is A more than S, but he is an S tier character. He is still quite powerful. Endgame boss, optional. Have yet to encounter, but definitely S. I feel it's very strong. The Poe is S tier. He will stalk you. Do not go into the news reporting agency and go to the bottom floor and go into that parallel world. If you get through all 3 parts of it or 2 parts of it in these workshops, he will stalk you and kill you. Just a word to the wise, leave him be. Can't be killed with anything other than like punching and magic, so even worse. And he's got a grasp that can kill you outright, which I think he can do in a different way if you've met Shognor or not. Osa, S tier. Don't need to say much more about this guy. Gets more powerful as time goes on. Very difficult to kill if you attack him on the train, or attack him sort of soon after. He is more powerful than any character really, because he's got magic and probably will just wipe you. This one here appears with the platoon, so enough said, S tier for this commander. Then we've got this Minotaur. This is a guy I encountered recently. I don't believe he is in the original game. He may be, he may not. If he is, do let me know. He's got bone breaking capacity and 4 bats with him, which give him easily a threat multiplier to S level. If you've not got the right things on, you can't grind him down quickly, make him bleed out. I think he's got about 20,000 hit points, maybe more, not sure. These things are called sulfur spiders. Find these in the apartments near the serial killer one, next to it. And there, if you go right to the back of a room, the first door, you go straight through that you come to and carry on upwards, these appear and just kill you outright until you're powerful enough. There's 3 of them, and they pretty much nearly killed me, but you get a spell from killing them which makes them S tier, just for that spell alone. It's like a spear drop spell that does like 5 times damage. It's ridiculous. This thing, I think it's called like Daughter of God or something. It's got a really weird name like that, and it has over 20,000 hit points. I can confirm. I think it has more like 50,000 or more. You drop through the toilet in the orphanage to find this. There's like a toilet to the side of the orphanage you can jump down into. The box will have something good in, but fighting this thing, it just happens as like a quick event as you try to just leave like the area you fell in, and it just wipes you. It's got so much magic, combustion, just don't go near it. I will return to try and kill this at some point, but I don't know what my chances are. Bobby, very dangerous, 3 hits. Take its arms off, it doesn't have any, but he's an early game enemy and he is pretty relentless because he gets up again. I find these are probably the worst things to deal with on my run. Dodging them's a pain. The Moonscorch of Samari, it's evident that it's quite powerful. Reflecting its magic was a good idea. Killing it as fast as possible was an even better idea, and harvesting the skills that she has to finally get Sylvian magic and be able to use the Whispers spells, which regenerate health. So really good to get rid of this one, and really good to get the skills by Data 2. Pocket Cat, Dance Transformation, can take an arm and a leg. I found that out when I went to the tower at the end, tried to access it, touched the door, and all 3 of my party members got moonscorched. Pocket Cat was the worst because he just instantly takes an arm or a leg halfway in the fight. So, words to the wise, this moonscorched form is no joke. The Ratkins, very dangerous. They're a run ender in my opinion, because they can cause infection and bleeding. Leave them till last on your run like I did. Go into sort of the far end of the sewers and then go into this cave. Finding these guys when they corner you and have to fight 5 of them is more than a challenge. Do make sure that you take them out one by one and keep healing every turn. It is possible, but just hope you only take disease on 2 people, because green herbs I found were thin on the ground at the end. This guy, very powerful at the beginning. You'll see him in Privil East Square. He shoots a few villagers, and then basically will come after you. He's very heavily armoured, very dangerous, massive threat multiplier on this guy, just leave him be. The tank guy the same, he reappears a second time and his tank doesn't leak and kill him. So the pesticide man, he's best killed just through talking the first time. He can be a run ender, so he's close to S tier. He's very powerful and you'll find him near the laundry lines at the right of the start village. Try and avoid him near the city gates and start village if you can, just walk around him. Shognar goes without saying, it's a Moonscorch. It's one of the more powerful ones along with the human rifle. The Hornet has about 2000 torso HP, so can't be killed until you've got better stuff to kill him with. You've got the Seagull Brothers, they will stalk you if you go to the island. They're a bit like crow maulers and can blind you with seagull pecks to the eyes and things, I believe. They're more of a nuisance value. I have yet to kill them, but I do know I have had runs where they've just incessantly appeared because I rode to the island and rode back from the fishing island. Not worth it. This guy, the Maniac, can dismember you early, found in a basement, does a lot of damage, runs off. Not a good character in general to encounter, try and avoid them. Centaur, it's more like a C tier thing really because you can avoid it and run around it, but if it does catch you, it's probably got too much health to kill from what I've seen of it, and it's got too many skills, so it will kill you and wipe your party early, so for that reason A tier. Flame Soldier, A tier, burns things. Don't need to say much more about that. Cocoon Transform, unsure of, I imagine quite powerful. Abella, B tier, I absorbed her, took about 800 damage to the torso to kill her, so very hard. Wrench tosses in the fight, uses Bear Trap, can dismember you. So yeah, very powerful person to absorb, but also a very powerful person to defeat. Took me 4 members to defeat that, but 2 weren't fighting, I believe. August, don't know how tough he is, but B tier because he appears and does useful things and gives you things, so he's kind of useful. Pillar Man, cut his abs, then just generally attack his torso, die quite quickly. I think he dies once you cut one of his abs anyway, that bulges, but just don't quote me on that. This guy with the 2 pendulum arms, this guy is concerning. He can dismember you. The one with 2 arms is worse than the one with no arms, obviously. Torso's about 1500 HP, just hammer that, he'll die. Valkyrie, didn't see that. B tier out of just doubt of what it does. I may see that in a later playthrough though, because I'm only going for ending A at the moment. This little fella, is it Moonless, I think the name of this dog is? You take the swords out of it first. I believe that sword casts some sort of burning spell, but I don't know if the miasm sword does in its body. Blind it with glass, it's not so powerful then. By then you should have decent weapons. It is about A tier hard though. Just make sure you cut its limbs and hammer its body down. Maybe got about 20,000 health, something like that. Most things generally do. Mimics, not worth fighting if you can help it. The Mimic of Levi in the sewer does block quite an interesting juncture, so killing him is kind of very mandatory. Crimson Priest things, the Gary the Snailheads, very powerful. They usually get a hit in or infect or bleed you. They're not very good. They're not very good to fight these. I do advise that unless you've got good weapons and the meat grinder, leave these alone. They do take a lot of shots as well. I don't think they die very well to guns. The other moon scorched forms. Not much to say about them. You'll fight them if you have to fight them in a different playthrough. The Mastermind went down quite easy though. I killed him actually with Olivia on my own, so not much of a challenge really. These 3 knights, these I believe are only in the Playthrough Plus, or the Prehevel Plus version of the game, the modded one. These 2 are quite weak, the ghost ones. They died to hurting at about 600 HP, but the main knight can do leg sweep, take your legs off, very nasty. Don't mess with them. Just try and eliminate him as quick as you can. Dan's a C tier character when you get him, but I'll tell you what, when you get Dan and you can take him to the bar and get mined back through getting drinks, he's more like an S tier character, especially when I give him the spear. But for that purpose, to fight just the normal characters, they're more like C tier. Hag, C tier, very dangerous when you first meet her. Cast rats. Neighbour, 1000 HP to his torso, but does a lot of damage very quickly over time. Try and take him out very quickly with wrench toss to his torso. Good saucer heads. Woodsman, if you go away and come back, I found it takes 1 hit to the, I think it was either the torso or the head, and he literally just died, and I just took his axe, so there's maybe a hack to killing him. Owl person is what it is. About 1000 HP to the torso. Take them out, get their heads in the forest. Wrench toss pretty much takes care of them. You don't have to fight the mayor, leave them be. If you do fight him, I think he's about a B tier one. Inquisitor, same, 1000 hit points to his torso, I believe. Kill that as quick as possible when you've got 4 of them, harvest their heads. The father of the orphanage, just leave him be, don't fight him, not worth it. Samurai's Mimic, not seen yet, C tiered. These guys with the meat hammer, the rifleman, C tier. They tend to die quite easily to wrench toss and attacking the torsos, but do be wary that when they form a mob they're more like S tier, because they will have the meat grinder guy with them in the middle of town. So yeah, 3 of them together, S tier, no doubt. D tier, well, where do we go from here? The dog, attack its torso, this sort of skin dog thing, pretty easy to kill. Good source of heads, 300 HP on its torso, I believe. So wrench toss tends to kill them. Just make sure you can kill them quick. When there's 3, they're a bit more of a challenge, but nothing too serious. Then you've got Marina. Cut her arms off, attack her torso, easy absorb. Marco, kill him first before you attack Marina, obviously, because he will restrain you if you attack them on the train to get their early absorption and early soul powers. Key to my run, what more can I say? Henrik, he's kind of good because he can cook food. His mimic form is very dangerous, I found, but his normal form, he doesn't have much torso HP. He's pretty killable. I have killed him before just to see what happens. Not really worth it. Karen, handy to get day 2 as a spare character. I've yet to use her, but it's nice to have a spare in case things go wrong. The guy from the workshop, the janitor, only see him in the dream. If you kill him in the dream, good on you. If you don't, it's up to you whether you played the intro or not. I skipped it and I got things that I did want for Olivia, so I'm not really bothered. The ghost, that dies to 1 punch. Very annoying, because you have to unequip your weapons to kill it at the point where you find it normally. Unless you've got spells, which, yeah. Villagers, all of them are easy apart from, I think, the one with the sickle, who has a bear trap as well, or one of them has a bear trap. He's quite nasty, can try and dismember you. He can be a run ender. He's more like a B tier, the one with the bear trap. Cherub, 300 HP to his body, I reckon. Moonscorch villagers, just harvest those for their stuff. Get their heads, get their souls, try and upgrade characters with them. I recommend fighting every one of them because they die to a wrench toss to the stomach. And then, yeah, you've just got this mystery tier here where you've got sort of the Kaiser, Yellow Kaiser. I've not fought him yet. I've not fought the Logic, I believe that is, and I've yet to encounter most of the other end game endings. So these I put in the mystery tier. I'm more than capable probably of destroying them, hopefully, but I won't know till I try. So hopefully in future videos we can discover what this tier is all about.